have to send back my them children to St. Vincent.
Mr. Slider, let me ask you something. Are you against what has transpired with Liat and in general, access in general?
I am saying that Liat should have been terminated long time ago. You hear me? Because I could remember in the days of Caribbean Star and Liat, the price was $125. You could have just paid passage and go St. Lucia, spend 2 weeks, or go to Barbados or any place. And these people put on all kind of different tax because the airfare itself is not the problem, you know. It's the amount of tax and excess tax and all these kind of things they put on, right?
Yep.
If that thing was running by private people and government did not put on all them kind of tax because if government used to benefit most from Liat, you know, Bing.
Okay.
With all the amount of the
but government also put a lot into Liat as well.
Yeah, because they could do that, because then they used to end up again more of the travelers' money.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Slider. Catch you tomorrow morning, all right, or later on?
Yes, everybody.
Have a good one. Yeah, Cutlass.
No, it's interesting because I suspect when private flights come in, they're going to be more expensive than Liat.
You think that private flights will be more expensive?
Yes, absolutely. At the beginning, yes, absolutely.
But it will taper off.
I believe it will taper off because if my argument is very simple. If airlines begin to become profitable, then, you know, one Caribbean is going to compete with SVGA or from somebody in St. Lucia or from somebody in Grenada. So it's a thing called competition, and competition will determine what the final price is. The market will show what the price is. Yeah.
Come on.
And it is, I believe it is far more viable to be running, and even Gaston Brugger is saying the same thing too about changing the fleet. Because the real problem that Liat ran into is when they changed the fleet. And remember, there was all kinds of rumors and stuff about that, right? When they got rid of the Dash 8s and changed over to whatever. And Dash 8s are still flying, by the way. You know, they were an excellent aircraft. But Twin Otters make a lot more sense for most of the time I fly on Liat. They don't have 19 people on it. Most of the time.
Yes.
So smaller planes to make more sense. You could do more frequent trips and more scheduled trips.
These islands are connected and they're so close to each other.
Yeah, so.
But I am shocked that there are persons up in arms.
Yeah.
Up in arms about.
I think it's great that Gaston Brugger is going to restart a Liat 2020. I don't have a problem with that.
Let us have more the merrier. Bring them all.
Absolutely. Once they're all running on the same rules. Because if Liat 2020 Limited are going to be subsidized by governments in an unfair manner compared to one Caribbean BMR or SVGA or Mustique Airways, any of those planes.
CAL is subsidized by government.
That is correct.
You know, Liat was subsidized by government when one Caribbean was going on.
But that is why the Caribbean couldn't compete.
It was unfair.
That is why Star Caribbean.
I'm saying,
whatever.
Open it up.
Yeah, correct.
Open it up.
But in a fair manner with the same set of rules.
Yes,
everybody
I
has to play by the same set of rules.
And when Mr. Weeks spoke about safety and all of that, we have.
I'm not concerned about safety. We have ECA. ECA is a very stringent regulator. Believe me, we're dealing with them now, and they can be very, very difficult. In fact, I think if anything, they're over stringent. But you can't say they're not stringent enough.
That's good.
It is a good thing for safety.
And Stephen, I remember I was a very young boy then when there was roll on, roll off, which was owned by the government, and the NDP administration came in and they got rid of it and they opened it up, and the private sector came in and they dominated the grindings route.
And you're getting much better service.
You're getting much better service, much better service. So I don't see what's a big deal about. You know,
it's fear of the unknown, Bing, because we haven't done it before.
But we've been calling for it. We've been saying, get rid of Liat, we put in too much money in Liat. Liat is not giving us good service. It's the only one that's there.
You know the real problem. You know what I would like to know with Liat, though, right? Because we keep saying we're putting all this money. But I would love to know how much did we get back from Liat in terms of all these additional government fees and taxes and all of that.
You know,
how much did they get back in compared to how much they paid out? It'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, come on. Who's left with the bag now? Waiting.
Well, I don't know.
Having to pay all these.
Who is left with the bag? That's a very
Maybe you can
question.
tell us who's left with the bag.
I don't know, because according to what I'm reading, If you are a director on a company that you know is insolvent and you continue to trade as an insolvent, you are personally liable.
And there's also never
the director should be very nervous.
Were there any persons who were on the LIAT board knew that this was coming?
Well, whoever was on a LIAT board clearly knew that they were an insolvent entity. You couldn't help but know that over the last 20 years.
So who is left with the bag?
30 years or whatever.
Who is liable?
Well, it will either be the employee. The employees are currently stuck with it because technically, if you go according to the law, my friend, if you go and the business goes bankrupt, people don't get paid. End of story.
And what
people
about
who lose?
And what about the directors? What about the directors?
Well, the directors are only personally liable if you can prove that they knew the entity was insolvent and continue to trade in such a manner. But the creditors will also say, well, hold on. We only traded like this and gave credit facilities because we understood the governments were backing it and we knew we were going to get our money back. So ultimately, the governments are going to be on the hook, I feel, right? You know, I mean, I am sure, right? So, for example, the question is, who will look after who? Will the Prime Minister look after the Vincentians, which I think he will?
Yes.
But does he also have any obligation to all the other people in the other islands?
Well,
I don't know.
Equal among proportion. That's what I heard him making that statement.
Yeah. What did he say?
Well, he said, well, you know, we're equal among proportion, meaning that we had 10% or how much Barbados had. Yes. Barbados had how much, and you know.
So each island should look after their own people.
Well, I'm not saying he said that, but that is what I understood.
Right. That he meant.
That is what he was trying to say. But I could be wrong, of course.
Cool. Right.
Speaking about LIAT and other things, tomorrow morning, the domination continue on OMG in the morning. The bad man, that's Stephen, is back. And we will have with us as our first guest of the week, former Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's in studio, Sir James Mitchell. Sir James will be in discussing, among other things, LIAT.
And the upcoming general elections, which is far more interesting than LIAT to me right now.
Hey, listen, stay put, don't move. He will be in studio with us tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock. And I'm going to stir the pot somehow. Stir the pot. Good morning, caller. You live?
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to
Thank you very much.
Voice, first of all. And Mr. Joe can tell it done properly, just so you know, in case the radio didn't have no service, Mr. Joe can tell it done real nice you. But Mike, and the lady name, I forgot.
Baby doll.
Daniel, Baby doll, she's the concrete that holds the center back together. So without her, we can't do it.
Much better than
but with that said, because we're subsidizing LIAT. And the government is the people.
Yeah.
You think we should be entitled to see the books for the past 5 years, 10 years to see, so we couldn't make because right now we just assuming things and we're assuming this piece, that take that and that put that there. We need to put something in place so we could see where it went wrong, and we also need something to be put in place again in the future so we would know we can't go down this road again.
But that's an excellent point.
No, because we have a basket and we're putting water in the basket. Right now they're telling us to bring in a bucket. Suppose the bucket have holes.
Yeah.
We need to know what's going on, because if them people really know the company was going under, but they continue to dig out our eyes and subsidizing LIAT with our taxes, our grandchildren going to be paying for these things.
True.
So we have to somebody has to be held accountable. But I welcome. Remember back in the day when LIAT was the only company coming to St. Vincent with bad monopoly.
Yep.
And that's why service went down. LIAT used to talk to me anyhow. They don't make up my mind when I go Barbados, I get locked up. Because they're rude. And we need monopoly to say, you know what, me ain't want to ride LIAT. I want to ride LIAT 2000. I want to ride LIAT 2001. So we have to bring that, but we have to bring it as a proper business. Businesses all over the world will have proper business models that work. And we need to look outside our Caribbean box, for lack of a better description, because we have a closed mind. The leaders in the Caribbean, especially CARICOM, we had this one track. We go continue, do the same thing and expect the same outcome. We have surely have our work that way. Thank
you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Listen, you know, we take this thing about we need to know what is going on, and we need to have accountability. We take that lightly. We take that lightly. Okay, we have a people to demand that. Okay, we Stephen Joachim, myself, Flex can personally go into Parliament and say I need to. That's why we have representation. And the Public Accounts Committee, no matter what, I think this needs to be had. We need to call the Public Accounts Committee.
Yeah, and then see what happens again.
And see what happens.
See if the same thing happens.
See if the same thing
happens again.
Then you could come to the people and say, listen.
Well, we tried, guys, and same thing happened. Yeah.
Listen, we are in an election year.
Yep.
We have no excuse. Call the damn Public Accounts Committee.
Yep.
Get your answers to these questions. That caller made a very important point.
Or don't get your answers.
Or don't get your answers.
Right.
And you come to the people and say, listen, this is what is happening.
Yep, agreed.
Call the Public Accounts Committee meeting.
But what was your opinion of when they tried to bring a motion into Parliament again?
Oh, but Stephen, we know now
but so what do we do then?
Is not going to allow.
Do they just give up? I mean, last time I heard, we used to have a democracy here. I can't recall Sir James Mitchell blocking. Maybe I'm wrong and he did.
We'll ask him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we must ask him if he ever blocked people from bringing debates, if he ever blocked people from bringing no confidence motions and so on. You either have a democracy or you don't.
Ralph Gonsalves is a political animal, right? Mm-hmm. I am of the opinion that even if I looked at it, I followed that issue in Parliament, and even if the NDP had gotten to bring that motion before 5 o'clock, he would have found some way. He would have, Stephen, I know, he would have found some way, either to do an amendment or something, Stephen. So then the question is, outside of, theoretically, do we follow democratic principles in this country? Outside we have an election every 5 years. But Stephen, hold on. The other question is, would he have done it within the rules of the House?
Who determined? Who's the ultimate judge on what the rules of the House are?
But they have the
Speaker.
No, but the rules of the House is managed by
But who determines? Remember what
follow the rules.
Remember what happened in the debate of no confidence. The NDP brought a motion of no confidence, right? The ULP then amended the motion to make it one of confidence. But at that time, the Speaker of the House, Jomo Keito, decided to allow that to happen. So ultimately, whoever is the Speaker will decide the level of democracy that we have. Now, who's the Speaker now?
Carlos.
Thank you.
But is it going to be done within the rules of the House? What they use, the handbook. What's it called? What's the handbook called? No, not Hansard.
Not Hansard. I know what you mean. It doesn't matter. The point is,
the NDP needs on its side someone with fire. In Trinidad, they call it the whip. To keep up, listen to me, that book, that rules.
Who interprets the rules, Bing? You keep carrying on like this. Thank you very much.
The Speaker.
And therefore.
But the Speaker can only go fast, this fast, Stephen.
Really?
Of course.
And then what happens?
You challenge him.
And where do you challenge him?
You can't go to court.
Okay, so you go to court. How long has the NDP been in court now with the election? Thank you very much. You keep losing these arguments. You need to stop going down the road where you're going to lose these arguments.
I'm not losing.
You keep losing them.
I'm not.
The reality is all of us should be very concerned about our democratic institutions in our country.
The opposition in the House of Parliament needs to be able to take it. Right? Just like how we know the Prime Minister, the leader of the House, will find some way, Stephen.
How many?
Stephen, you and I know that even if the NDP had gotten in, that's their position to bring that motion before 5 o'clock, as it should have been. That the Prime Minister would have found something. He'd have amended, he'd have done something.
Because we've seen that in the past.
But that is modus operandi. But is it within the rules of the House? And who does the NDP have on that?
According to Jomo at the time, he made a decision. It was within the rules of the House. He wasn't a fool. It was his opinion at the time, which he subsequently changed his mind. But the point is...
Do you think the present Speaker will change his mind?
I think the NDP doesn't have hope in hell of any ruling from the present Speaker against the government. Zero chance.
So what do you say?
Nada, none. The present Speaker is a candidate for the ULP in North Leeward. You really think he's going to rule against his party?
Speaker under the NDP,
you really think so?
When the NDP was in office, the speakers were all speakers from the NDP side. The point is, Stephen, do we need to have an overhaul of our parliamentary system?
The problem is we have a parliamentary system that is based upon the British model. We are not that because our leaders, I'm still waiting for it.
But it's going to be interesting times, Stephen.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm highly looking forward to is...
The debate.
I know, not
you don't want the debate?
Not that debate.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about something that you do every election. You bring back your numbers, historical numbers.
Once elections are called, we're going to go through constituency.
I heard you sent me something this morning from Eyewitness News where the NDP have a name candidate for Marco.
No, they don't have. What they have is a zillion people who want to contest in Marco.
Someone who wants to contest, who's thrown his name into the bag to be. Okay, we're going to get that.
And he's a public servant. So the question,
he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it.
Well, he might. The question is, will he have a job afterwards? Because he didn't. I mean, the teachers didn't get back their jobs.
Well, Prime Minister
so
said,
anybody in the civil service, what did he say?
Prime Minister said it was
aspirational.
Aspirational.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But again, the Constitution didn't stop you giving back the people their jobs. Huh?
And they still haven't gotten back.
And they still haven't gotten them, and they never will. Right. And if Philip Jackson runs, I hope he understands what's going to happen, and I hope any teachers that run in this country know what's going to happen. So, I mean, judge for yourself about what you think is the level of democracy in your country.
It's crazy.
You decide.
Right, we're going to do a throwback because we're doing 20 for today would have been Carnival Monday.
It is Carnival Monday, buddy.
It is Carnival Monday. And tomorrow Carnival Tuesday. So we got something.
And you're wearing your costume tomorrow?
And I'm wearing my costume tomorrow.
For those of you who are watching IKTV, Bing will be in here in his bikini tomorrow.
Yep, that's true. The bad man thing. But let's do a throwback in respect of Carnival Monday.
Here's your Soca Classic Throwback. On the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
Trying the best to cool she down, but she had tie up with them disco song. Always with she disco beats, floor to chill. She does want to dance, I done turning into bed. I'm on a team, I don't feel like getting low. Jam on it, honey, don't stop it as she go. Rock it to the left now, rock it to the right. Rock it in the center, with the action tight.
Time for the hammer. We got a cutlass of the hammer.
I am not the hammer. I'm a cutlass. Okay?
No, you're the cutlass. No, we're going to bring in the hammer right now. We're going to bring in the hammer.
Straight up, real talk, unfiltered, and in your face. Jerry George on Boom 106.
Hey, you, Jerry. Okay. So we got him. Jerry, good morning, buddy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Jerry, how come you got the nice background music? Why is it you get the special treatment from Bing?
Well, because today's throwback time, I guess.
I'm a DJ. I don't believe it. Joy, you been in there just now, say you could only punk small nails.
Whatever.
Joy, will I lie?
You know. No, that's okay. I'm a carpenter. I go for the carpenter. But I tell you, if you punk small nail and you know how to move your hand, you punk your finger.
Punk your finger.
Where's Daniel?
Daniel is not doing well, so I will be by myself for another week with the cutlass, hopefully.
Oh my God, what a thing!
Yes. you know what I mean? I'm not prepared for that. Jerry, I've not been present for a while, so you gotta bring me up to date. Tell me what's the trending.
A lot of the discussion. I mean, that is the biggest trending thing right now. I mean, there's no question about that, and you guys have had quite a bit of discussion about it this morning. I laugh at it, and I've had said this a few different places. A couple of years ago, when talked about liquidating NIAT, you know what the leaders told us? Oh, we can't do that, because if we liquidate NIAT, there'll be nobody to fly. Nobody will come in and take NIAT's place. Yet the fourth note out of liquidation told us that there are 6 airlines ready. That is my biggest joke. 6. 6. Right? The same people who were telling us we had to put money in NIAT, because if we didn't put money in NIAT, nobody would come forward to fly the route. The simple rule about life and about business: nature abhors a vacuum.
And why do you think that is the case?
Because they have been making money flying here. There are other people who want to make money too. Liat managed its business badly. And you see this concept that we have we want Liat to be a regional institution and all these fancy talks. That is what distracted us from understanding that Liat is a business. If we wanted Liat to be any of those things, we should have registered Liat as either a not-for-profit organization or a foundation. Right? But we want to run Liat like that and have them kind of fancy talk because of ideology, forgetting that Liat has to be run on business principles.
So when the Prime Minister couldn't answer as to whether Liat was a business or not, what say you?
Because that is the point I'm making. That is where the convolution was taking place in their head. They refused to treat Liat as a business because everybody had, one other point that they wanted to make Liat an essential service. Let me tell you something. Let me illustrate it this way, right? Because people talk about this economic, this and that. Let us assume, because the whole point of not making a profit, you have an accountant with you there. So I hope you understand my point. If you decide to do a kitchen garden, right? And you decide to plant corn, but you're planting the corn basically for you and your family and your friends to eat it. So in a sense, you're not making a profit, okay? It's not for profit. But if you eat every single cob of corn, could you plant back that cornfield next year?
True.
The cob of corn, the cob that you keep is your profit. If even you're running a not-for-profit organization, you have to make profit. You have to have money to be able to go on. But when you tell me you're running the airline, and the airline is, if we make a profit, then that's a big deal. Really? You have to put aside money if you're going to take forward the business next year. Mr. Compton, am I right or wrong?
Absolutely, you have. In a non-profit world, we call them surpluses, not profits. But you have to generate surpluses, otherwise you have to reinvest.
Exactly, call it whatever you want. You might call it profit, but the important thing is there must be money to go forward.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
Now, you said it and you kind of passed over it. Every time I go to the Grenadines Wharf, in fact, I just saw a brand new, a Beckwith Express with a brand new boat.
Correct.
Lovely boat. No, you have how many of those boats running between Beckwith and a few of them running between things? You ever hear the countries? They don't run down each other's stairs. They have their stairs set. They have their time set. And they have been competing no fuss. Right?
Yep.
Because they run businesses.
Yep.
And also those businesses, they're able to purchase new vessels. And let's face it, it's not a big set of money they discharge to go to work with. But they run a proper business. The problem with Liat is that Liat was not run like that because some people's minds was conflated that, oh, well, you see, this is a service, so we could do this for free. This is a business. It has to be run like a business, okay? That's it. Now, let me see. I put down a couple of things here. No, I have to write down these things, man.
Too many things to talk about these days, Jerry. Too much going on.
Too much. I just think I said that we could talk about whole morning.
Yep.
So the Prime Minister of Antigua says he is betrayed. I want to drop in something else here because this one really upsets me. Yeah? Do you know?
Leave my hero alone. Only leave my hero alone. You and Jerry, leave my hero alone, okay?
But listen to this one, right? People talk about betrayal and people talk about the didn't know. They had the United Nations Human Rights Council meeting last week. 53 countries voted with China to do what they're doing with Hong Kong. 53 countries, eh? Do you know Dominica, Antigua, and Suriname voted with them? To fight for Hong Kong? Yes.
Wow. Didn't know.
And when we don't talk about betray, and we want to live in these countries here as free countries, but you will vote for them to fight for Hong Kong. Exactly. And when you don't talk about who betray who, this Caribbean just get you mad. Just get you really mad. Because, listen, a couple other things. I hear you talking about calling the Public Accounts Committee Bing. Bing, all them things they sound nice.
Yep.
I show the last set of accounts the Public Accounts Committee will have in precedence probably 10 years old. What's the point of calling them?
Ask for it to be brought up to date. Ask for it. They have a responsibility, don't you? You can't do that. Then don't go to Parliament.
They could ask, they could ask some notes to the House.
Stephen, weren't you once called before the Public Accounts Committee?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
So what is the big
Who, Stephen?
Yes.
Okay, Stephen is a very good
chairman of the lottery. I did it call.
Ralph was it,
okay. Yeah.
But the point
but Jerry, if I could read something here for 1 second for you again, because we keep confusing leadership and politics because we think all political leaders are leaders.
Leaders.
It says here, well, politics is about win-lose. I'm right, you're wrong. It is unfortunately about an argument between extremes. Leadership, on the other hand, is about problem solving and making progress and changing the order of things for the better, which means it's about humility, empathy, and collaboration. So I mean, read that and tell me where it's wrong, right? So
no, but that's it, and that is what our leaders are too much into this one-up-man stuff.
I win, you lose. That's all it's about.
I win, you lose.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and when we come over the Caribbean, we can't operate on that level of I win, you lose. We don't have the space to do that. But again, we have sold that concept to the followers. And so they like to see when the leader behave like that, and the leader has to step. How many elections we have had recently? And what they tell us, what is the most important thing to the people? Leadership. What leadership?
Well, I think this election shouldn't be about leadership, actually, Jerry.
Well, no, but they have told us all your elections that the pollsters tell them that what Vincent Chen really wants is leadership. What is leadership?
Correct. What is it?
After all these years, leadership? For real? But Bing, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Wait, one more thing. I was struggling things as we went along. The Public Accounts Committee, as I said to you, that's a joke.
Why? Why is it a joke?
Because you could, listen, the government is in charge. Unless the government sends the accounts to the
Auditor General?
The Auditor General, it ain't going nowhere.
But was it done before, Jerry?
Maybe it was not. It's another question, but it was done before. Not, it's a question of the attitude of this, the culture of this government.
So, are you saying the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee legally do not have any power?
Legally, he doesn't have any power because he could go prance up all he wants, and if they slowly send this stuff, Who's going to tell them? Are they going to say we don't have enough staff? The last time I heard about the Auditor General, they didn't have enough staff in the office.
Jerry and Stephen, that is scary because you guys are saying the institutions of government are not working.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. But Barbados works though. Barbados Public Accounts Committee, I could give you them. I could give you the Auditor General's report. So it's a question of the culture of the country and the culture of the government that we're talking about. It's a culture issue. The final thing you said this morning that I want to talk about, the question of the motion.
Yes.
Let me tell you where I vex with NDP. Now, NDP brings a motion. These people have conversation going on, and them getting up to answer them discussions. They talk to themselves with me alone. Every time you continue to talk, right, you extend the time. Every time you get up to respond to what they want, that is suiting them because you extended the time. They just sit down and talk to themselves. I don't wait. I don't wait all the time to see if they just sit on your house talking to themselves. You have, if one strategy can't work, you have to do something else. Because if you keep doing the same thing, the same way, and expect the same results, Einstein say you're mad.
Definition of insanity.
Man, you get up and answering them. I ain't answering nothing honestly. Sit down and talk whole day. Yep. I just sit down right there and just watch them. Because when you talk, you're wasting time. You're wasting your own time that you want for the motion.
Someone said Liat was based on a made-up economy. Salaries were unrealistic and unsustainable. What do you guys say?
Put this way, Bing. And this is the one part I have to smile about, you know. Liat has 800 plus workers around the region. 500 plus of them is in Antigua, are in Antigua alone. Alone. Do you understand why Prime Minister Gaston Brown is panicking?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not panicking because he cares about Liat. He's panicking because he knows and these are high-paid workers, right? Mm-hmm. How does he find replacement jobs for these people? That's what he's panicking about. Not that he loves Liat or cares about Liat. Forget that foolishness.
And his economy will be severely affected.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. When COVID-19 came,
yep,
the first person to talk about the impact was him, you know what he said?
Yeah, correct.
Yes?
Yeah.
He said the revenues, monthly revenues of Antigua, I ain't forget this, you know, are $60 million.
That's correct.
He said 30 million is spent for loan repayment, and the next 30 million is spent to pay salaries. What is left?
Yep. And he said he'd get less than 30 million he anticipated, huh? Is what he was anticipating collecting.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know, so when these guys come on and pretend that, we lose a Caribbean institution and how CARICOM is going to come down, it's panic. They're panicking. They are in a meltdown, an emotional meltdown. Let's ignore the emotional meltdown. Not because Liat could not continue the way it was going.
Gaston Brown lashed out and said, well, he didn't participate in the meeting, the CARICOM meeting. Right. What do you guys think about the way that he's behaving?
Childishness. I just told you, emotional meltdown, that's childishness. That's not mature. It's the only thing so you're going to not participate in CARICOM because you want to send a signal that you vex with everybody? That's childishness.
And he made some posting on Facebook about knee and neck and all that.
I said, this man is having an emotional meltdown. Yeah. And we must not encourage it and we must not support it. And listen to other things, right? For example, I mean, sometimes I ask myself, do these people understand business? He already spoke to his registry to tell them to reserve the name Liat 2020. Liat is a brand, is a name. Who tells you he could just take it up and go and use it if the other say no?
Well, if he had 2020 to it, I think that he's got some leeway there.
But any clear registry would not allow that so easily do. But are gone.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Catch you tomorrow morning. Stephen, you got to run. You got to run. 9 o'clock. You'll be back tomorrow morning.
I'll be back to chat with you, Sir James.
Sir James tomorrow morning.
And try and keep you company and keep you calm. As I think I've succeeded very well this morning in keeping you calm. Have you noticed that?
You have done a great job,
Thank you, sir. My friend. And hope Danny get better soon.
Yes, so she can take up from where you were going to leave off from.
Well, Danny can try and keep you calm.
Any interesting moving forward? Any interesting thing that you want to find?
I think we have tons of interesting things coming. There's no shortage of things to chat about, buddy. The elections are coming up soon. You know, Jomo has made his predictions.
Yeah, I read his article. I read his article.
Yes.
Yes.
It's interesting, and I think we have let me tell you what this election should be about, in my view. It should be about leadership.
Yes.
It should be about who do you prefer to be your prime minister. Ultimately, that's what it needs to come down to. Right? Because as we have seen, Bing, over the last 30 years, 40 years, a prime minister is really a king if he decides to use all powers at him. I've said that forever, right? A prime minister is king. Ask Sir James when he comes in tomorrow, right? Certain people in this country have said the governing party should never lose an election, right? We've heard people say that because you have so much power. You can utilize the resources of the state to benefit your party. Right. So it's going to be interesting, buddy.
All right.
If the people are fed up, then they'll move. Take care, buddy.
Catch you tomorrow morning, buddy. Morning caller, Stephen Leave. Good morning, quickly.
Stephen Leave, man?
Yeah. He's got an appointment at 9 o'clock. Yes.
Yeah. Then, if you're looking for leadership, you're clearly letting out everything out the bag of the election.
What do you mean?
In terms of, if you're talking about leadership, guns are way ahead. Way ahead. And when Stephen come on tomorrow, I will list on the order of what's leadership and who is successful and who is not. I will do that for you tomorrow if Stephen comes on. But interestingly, in Eastern George, there's a name called by the name of Dr. Goodluck. I don't know if you're saying that he will be contesting against Kamala Gonsalves.
Okay.
There's a rumor going about that Dr. Goodluck might be taking up that as he's close to retirement, you know?
Okay.
So I don't know if he'll be coming up against Kamala Gonsalves.
Well,
okay.
Hopefully when Dr. Friday come in at some point, I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much. Speaking about tomorrow, tomorrow the domination continues on OMG in the morning. The bad man of radio will be chatting with Sir James Mitchell, former Prime Minister of SVG, who will be our special guest in studio to celebrate with the bad man being back. Looking at some of the issues he'll be looking at, of course, the Liat Guyana's elections. And he'll be taking some questions, of course. You know, Sir James, I'm gonna jab him to get into some other stuff as well too. So James will be on OMG tomorrow morning from 7:30 in studio on the trending station, Boom 106.9. And speaking about trending station, you guys know this afternoon. If you do not know by now, if you've been on the rock and you haven't heard, from this afternoon from 4 o'clock, we've got the Pitbull. We've got with the dog back there. With the dog back. Mario, why don't we have the dog back? We've got the Pitbull. Will be on air. Let me get some applause, man. Come on. The big dog. And yes, he will be walking with his buddy, Super Demas. Yeah, Super Demas would be with him this afternoon as well too. Along with Minister Chowder will be in this. It's gonna be, oh my goodness gracious, it's gonna be confusion this afternoon. Whatever you're doing this afternoon, make sure you set aside some time. And the thing with radio, you don't have to sit down with your radio in front of you to hear it. Your radio will play no matter where you are. Make sure you're listening this afternoon. Call it quickly. Good morning.
You know that song by Usher called Trading Places? Seems like you and Hop changing places. Welcome back, Mr.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's jump out of Jerry, and we'll be right back right here at OMG in the morning as we head on up to 9 o'clock. Here we go. Jerry, where Jerry? Jerry, where you think the Jerry?
Jerry George on Boom 106.
Only 20 minutes away from the Argyle.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Isn't Isn't it good?
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
Here we go! Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom, Galaxy by far, and DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069. Vibe Central blazing the most fire in the nighttime.
Hey, yo, play that shit again!
8 p.m. to midnight with Platinum Jugglers on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
So the reason why we in healthcare use this mask, the N95 mask, is because we have a prolonged contact and continuous contact with the ill. A prolonged contact is considered within 1 meter of the patient and for more than 15 minutes. And you know, healthcare workers, we would have to keep doing this. Also, we'll be doing aerosolized procedures. You may have to nebulize someone, so we need a little bit more protection, and that's why we use the N95 mask. While caring for someone at home, always remember, even though you're using this mask, that your contact should really be minimal. And it does protect you in the case of corona because the virus is quite big and very unlikely to pass to and from this mask. And that's why the patient would wear it and the person providing care will wear it.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning. Boom Chat Friday.
Boom Chat Friday!
It's a different kind of juggle on Boom.
Everybody cups up. Everybody cups up. For the girl my God loves. If you know
You chat, we juggle.
Chat Fridays.
And you like chat?
Me no in a bankrupt. Me no day a jail dash for the handcuff. One in our pocket, you know me tank up. 6 out here, you know we run prof.
Big up your crew, street or block.
Sending them voice notes now.
Evolution of sound, evolution of music, evolution of radio.
Them no bad like me, them no bad like me, them no bad.
Boom Chat Friday.
Go, 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 go!
1069 Boom.
Stop the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. Follow these simple steps. Remove all jewelry before washing hands. Wet hands using running water. Place liquid soap in hand. Circulate using rotational movements. Interlace fingers and repeat switching hands. Wash back of fingers, rotating them in the palms. Wash fingertips, rotating them in palms. Wash thumbs using rotational movements. Thoroughly wash hands down to the wrists. Rinse hands. Dry with clean tissue. Turn off tap using tissue. Use tissue to open door and discard in bin. A simple act can make a huge difference. Stop the spread of viral infections, including the flu and COVID-19, by practicing proper hand washing. This is a message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Isn't it good?
106.9.
Before I reach by the gate, I don't give a damn who want to talk, I don't want no shame. As long as I got me wrong women and soca I great. Cause them is the simple things in life I appreciate. Just give me the rum, just give me a gal. Play soca music, it's pure banana. With all of my friends, and money to spend. No stress on me head, nobody don't know when they go dead. One night I got to live so full, night I drinking, full night I jamming, full night I whining now. When the liquor hit me, it's full night I drifting, full night I tripping, full night I jumping now. When I drink it, I'm ready, full. When I hold a girl, well it's full. When the soca hit, well it's full. If you see me drip, well it's full. Then I see the sun, well it's full. When the back and so it's full. I ain't backing down, so it's full. I am not a rock and roll.
My attitude is mine. My attitude is mine. Anything that lies in front of me is mine. My attitude is mine. My attitude is mine. Anything that lies in front of me is mine. Boom. One juke and a wine, two jukes and a wine, three jukes and a wine, I dare ya. One juke and a wine, two jukes and a wine, three jukes and a wine.
Partly but you juke in your phone like you texting your boyfriend whole night. Isn't it with you he's supposed to be? He over there fetting whole night. You over here stressing your life when there's only one you have to live. Don't really wanna intervene, but did you come here with your team? She said no, no, no. Tell me to go so I can leave if I don't intervene. She said no, no, no. That look like trouble in the morning. When the niggas start to applaud, when the music starts to pump up, and the girl ready to ram my shit. Trouble in the morning, when I'm nowhere close to sober, when the party hours over, and everybody ready to jump and
She live in a private zone. Every time she having a party, I cannot leave she alone. Like she always having fun, but I never hear a sound. I ask she if I could come. She tell me to make a turn. And she invite Johnny, she invite Carl, she invite Josh, and she invite Paul. Well, I couldn't take it at all, so I decide to jump you all. As I try with the CJ, Ramon got inside with no play. As I look so who I say yes, well no another minute, I must get in. Private party. Private party, yes, inside the private party. I don't care who want to talk. Private party, yes, inside the private party, and I don't care.
It could be water, it could be rum, it could be anything, everything going down, down, down.
It could be water, it could be rum, it could be anything, everything going down. Cause the water's over me. And I bumps into the water's over me. Now watch the girl them wine go down and the gong like down and the gong like. Yo, I drink a rum and I can't remember which woman I come with, but the dance full up of a sexy woman. So why not complaining, boy? I drink a rum and I can't remember which woman I come with, but the closest girl in front me pansy bar is going to get pressure. I drink Grey Goose, Sunset, Overproof, vodka, tequila, chase with margarita. Don't take me shame. woman I carry, remember? Which woman I come with? Body dance full up, be a sexy woman. So why not complaining, boy? I think a wrong man I carry, remember? Which woman I come with? Body closest girl.
You're going to be getting it all day today and all day tomorrow. Non-stop soca on the trending station, the Evolution one.
Cheaper than that. Well, you know I love me, woman. But there's problems in the home.
Hello? Yes. Oh, Mr. Bing. Yes. Your shipment would be reaching Puerto Rico very soon. Yes, that's 655 towels. And
Yo, Daddy,
anyways, my favorite show is
Omg in the morning, what's up next? Jill Shady, they playing
Shady.
From 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstar. Ice Cold District, Galaxy.
I'll be my boss.
The best, oh yes, kid got on his
headphones. Yo, I'm happy day. Okay, I'm back in this time. So when I'm after 4. So what I'm after 4? Come to this time. I get to the breakdown? Nah. Now if I go see them, they become I can't understand. Tell it, boy. You got me really have to come see what happened after 4 boom because I understand what happened. But wait. Nobody not there? No. I will help them out. I can't understand. It's time for me to put in my hand and make radio great again. I know just what to do.
Yo, Danny, yo, Bing, yo, what's up, Flex? Omg in the morning, what's up next? Jill and Shady, they playing tune. Hitting from 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstar.
1069 Boom.
Morning to the bad man. You have a big smile on my face, sweetheart. I'm running. Tuning, I heard you. You sound great. I hope you're relaxed. You stay off the radio too long, but at least I know the reason why. Glad to hear you. I know St. Vincent. Glad you're back. Stay safe. Love you, sweetheart.
I love you too,
Good morning
baby.
to Mario. Good morning to Neil. Wherever you are.
I love you too, baby.
Love you guys.
I love you too. No kisses to you.
Peace.
Let me read some of your messages. Let me see if I can get in some. Hey boy. Good morning. Are you gonna talk about the close out recording between the? No, not talking about that. No. Moving on from that. Let me move on. Soca all day today. Blessed morning to the entire Boom team. Welcome back, Mr. Joseph. Hope all is well. That you keep. I'm hoping that you keep it up. Wait for shake of everyone you care about. That being said, Stephen, I would like to know which country pumped the most monies into Liat since it came into existence, because many are saying we did. WhatsApp messages I'm reading, okay? Bill, welcome to the new person joining the Boom team as well. That's the Pitbull. He'll be on this afternoon from 4 o'clock. He will be on with the Chowder, yeah, and also Millennium Kid. It's gonna be a big thing this afternoon. Listen, make sure they listen this afternoon, eh? Make sure they listen to the big dog this afternoon, him and Chowder. Somebody said, Jerry, what is your views on pork barreling? A lot of muscle. I want to say good morning to the real bad man of radio. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Bing and Steven, persons traveling on the flight from North America would have to be tested and show a negative result before boarding. Yep, that's true. I hope so. Someone else said Philip Jackson is candidate in Maracua. No. Morning, Boom. I want to ask Stephen to give his opinion on the minimum wage in SVG and what he thinks it should be now. Please. Schools in areas need to win back their seat. I don't know what I mean. I don't know. I just don't show what I mean. Are the school children's getting money? Yeah, boy. I hear about that. I hear about it. You hear about that, Flex? You hear about that? Marlis, you hear about that? School children get money? Jesus, Lord, boy. Listen. Listen. It's called, what was that project program came? Zero Hunger. Zero Hunger. Zero Hunger money, boy. Each child from Form 3, is it from grade 3 or something like grade 6? Grade 3? 3 and 4, getting $300 and something. And what? And a book voucher? Jesus Christ, boy. But them thing I was getting them thing when I was in school, boy. How many rooms at book? Come on, you all on the something? I don't understand what I mean. I don't know what I mean. Yeah, Rose, morning, buddy. If Ralph's so up and up on hotels, why didn't he purchase the unfurnished one at Ratamil, a private beach and perfect for sea activities? The one at Diamond makes no sense, Ralph. I'm just reading, okay? I don't even understand what I'm reading, but I'm just reading. Bing is a die-hard ULP activist. He will join the anti-something any day. I will agree Sir James is the leader of this day. But we gone past, what? Something. Bing, will you just support a change, Bing? Now, how the hell do you know what I am, what I support, what and all? Listen, how do you know that? From what? Do you go into the box with me when I go and vote? Tomorrow morning, you ain't gonna be saying that, you know. You will not be saying where I support and where I ain't support tomorrow morning. Are you fresh and out? Where you read that for? I could block the stage people and station thing. No, you only lucky, you know. I'd give you one big block thing. One block here I get in. One block, I'd block you so much. You want to tell me how I could support? Listen to me. Or don't drive up my blood pressure this morning. Eh? Don't drive up my blood pressure this morning. How you got that I'm a support of the ULP? From what? From what I said? Huh? You hear me saying anything about supporting? Raj, you hear me saying anything about supporting? Which Jumbie sent you this morning? Eh? Go back and meet the Jumbie. Eh? You go back and meet the Jumbie this morning. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone this morning, Jesus, please. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Good morning, Bing Radio has now come alive. Welcome back. Your disgusting self. Say boom. Good morning and thank you very much. Thank you. But you see when these damn people here come and tell me about why they support and why you don't support, I just get vexed, you know what I mean? Morning, caller, you're live. Good morning.
Morning, how are we doing?
Morning, I'm doing good. How about you, buddy?
Good. I'm glad to see NDP making some effort to get some candidates where none was announced. And I wish, in Morocco, Bernard Wiley would do just like Gypsy did and step down and let the others. He's been there 20 years ago. He should just step aside. Don't come back. And I was wondering why it was taking so long for the candidates. But something went to my mind. So maybe certain people were probably waiting to retire and didn't want to make the announcement. Or certain people maybe was in university and they was finishing up sometime this year and maybe they didn't want to.
Hold on. Which candidate and for who? Which party? What are you talking about?
For NDP.
Okay, so
NDP. They had the candidates, but they took too long to portray the seats to declare a candidate.
And what seats are you talking about? What seats are you talking about?
I think North Windward, Maracua, and East St. George.
Hold on. North Windward is which candidate from North Windward?
This lady was a announcer, I can't remember.
Okay.
A young lady.
And East St. George is who?
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard anything for East St. George yet.
But you mentioned East St. George.
There's rumors, but I haven't heard. But I was frustrated, and I've mentioned that to Dr. Friday already. Been frustrated that those three constituencies 6 months before election and nobody has been announced. I've expressed that to him on the air already. But the only explanation I could have figured out in my mind was that maybe they had somebody, but the person did not want to make the announcement yet because they probably was working in the civil servants and they don't want to announce it too early. They probably was going to retire sometime this year and wanted to do so after they retire, or they might be in university also and they waited till they graduate or something like that. That would be the only position I could cross in my mind why you would wait 6 months to announce it. It's the best to have somebody on the ground doing the work and all the time and announcing and let the people know who's running ahead of time. Just like you did it for Bruce and you did it for Bacchus. I can't see why it couldn't have been done for others. Get somebody grounded to do the work and let people know who's running. Thank you and bye.
Thank you very much, Gordon. Good morning, Colin. Good morning. You're live. Could you turn on your radio, please? Turn on your radio, please.
Yes, Bing, I turn on the radio. Bing is Dr. Goodluck, as I understand, is on the ground.
How do you know? How you know Dr. Goodluck is on the ground? Eh? Dr. Goodluck told you he's on the ground and doing political work?
Yeah, I'm telling you now. I'm going to tell you because you don't know.
Well, you tell me.
There's a rumor saying that he's on the ground.
I don't want him up in the rumor. Don't come on the radio and tell me there's no rumor. You can put, how you go call in on the radio and tell me there's a rumor that the man is on the ground? The man tell you he's a politician. Dr. Goodluck is a civil servant. But there's a rumor. What rumor? You tell me what rumor. Don't come on here and tell me what rumor. Buddy, I love you still. You can call back, but don't tell me that. Don't come back and tell me about the rumor. Okay, buddy? Sorry about that. But I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. You can't implicate the man like that. How you going to implicate the man like that? The man hasn't came out and said publicly that he's going to be running. Or you come and tell me about rumor. I love you still in my body. You can call back though. Call back, eh? Call back still. But don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to the man. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. Good morning. Welcome back. Good morning. Yeah, but he know I do it with love anyway. You know, if I cut him off, he not cut him off with love still. Because it is to protect him and protect the station. Okay? Don't come and tell me about rumor. The rumor that the man rumor, we don't deal with rumors around here. How you gonna do that? Come on now, man. How you gonna do that, man? That ain't sound good. That ain't gonna be good.
Right, you told me you are good. Yeah. Why you running up your blood pressure?
I know, right?
You know the facts. You know the game.
Yeah.
Just move on. Daniel, hurry up, come back, eh? Because he reading and he look like he badger beat. Daniel, please come back. Hurry up, could you help?
What? I love you too, baby. No, I'm not running my blood pressure. I just want him to do better. You know what I mean? You don't call on here and say for sure that Dr. Goodluck is going to be running in East St. George. And when I ask you how you know, you say there's a rumor. You can't say for sure and there's a rumor. All right? The two that doesn't go together. I mean, for sure is for sure and rumor is rumor. That's an oxymoron there, buddy. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't do that. Morning. Daniel will be, Daniel is not feeling well, so should be back soon. Morning to the NDP. PRO. Call me now, call me. I want to ask you something. Call me quick, please. Lavon King, morning. Call me Lavon, I want to ask you something. Lavon, call me. Don't message me, call me. Call me, I want to ask you something. Good morning to both, Francis, you two both. You disgusting human being. Morning. I'm gonna try and see if I can get an interview with June and Francis. That's a question to ask you. He's supposed to have plenty prime money to spend in his ministry. Not prime, COVID money. Is that prime? Just call. Let me about what I'm going to ask you. Just call. Hang on, bear with me, please. Julian Francis, Empire Smoking, Campari Drinking, Chimney, Julian Francis. I want to speak to you about a few matters. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, we will have in studio. I think there's it's no problem. Let me get the information to you. See. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You said Daniel feeling sick?
Yeah, she's not feeling well.
Okay, I think I'm going to try to diagnose. I think I had the same illness too that she have, and a lot of intentions home and abroad have it. It's called Carnival Tabanca. That way how we is.
I told Mario on the weekend. I told Mario that on the weekend. Thank you. Thank you very much. I told Mario that on the weekend, actually. I said, Mario, people experiencing Carnival Tabanca. All right, we got doctorates coming up, but it's going to be done differently, all right? Don't you move. You're going to hear something different with Dr. Richards this morning. Him and I going to fight up this morning. What's that? Huh? What? Yeah. We'll fix that. Flex, I'm on the radio. You don't ask me questions while I'm live, okay? What is wrong with you? So we'll sooner better than that. So we got Dr. Richards coming up. I've got something burning, a really burning question I want to ask Dr. Richards. While I was at home, I followed on the international news, and I want to bring it home to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I want to ask Dr. Richards about that, and he can answer that. He can hold his own. So I want to ask Dr. Richards about that. You guys stick around. Don't you move. You're going to hear the big question that I'm going to ask Dr. Richards. All right? All listen some more right here on OMG in the morning.
Yo, well, you don't know now. This is the Super Dog, and guess who's back inside the Boom Drive? This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in.
Hello? Yes. Oh, Mr. Bing. Yes. Your shipment would be reaching Puerto Rico very soon. Yes, that's 655 towels. And anyways, my favorite show is
Omg in the morning, what's up next? Jill Shady, they playing shady. From 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstar. Ice Cold District, Galaxy.
You'll be my boss.
The best, oh yes, kid got on his
headphones. Yo, I'm happy day. Okay, I'm back in this time. So when I'm after 4. So what I'm after 4? Come to this time. I get to the breakdown? Nah. Now if you go see them, they become a can't understand. Tell it, bro. You got me really have to come see what happened after 4 boom because I understand what happened. But wait. Nobody not there? No. I will help them out. I can't understand. It's time for me to put in my hand and make radio great again. I know just what to do.
Yo, Danny, yo, Bing, yo, what's up, Flex? OMG in the morning, what's up next? Jill Shady, they playing tune. Hitting from 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstars.
106.9 Boom.
Yo, well, you don't know now. This is the Super Dog, and guess who's back inside the Boom Drive? This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Isn't it?
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
So the reason why we in healthcare use this mask, the N95 mask, is because we have a prolonged contact and continuous contact with the ill. A prolonged contact is considered within 1 meter of the patient and for more than 15 minutes. And you know, healthcare workers, we would have to keep doing this. Also, we'll be doing aerosolized procedures. You may have to nebulize someone, so we need a little bit more protection, and that's why we use the N95 mask. While caring for someone at home, always remember, even though you're using this mask, that your contact should really be minimal. And it does protect you in the case of corona because the virus is quite big and very unlikely to pass to and from this mask. And that's why the patient would wear it and the person providing care will wear it.
Vibe Central plays in the most fire in the nighttime.
Hey, yo, play that shit again.
8 p.m. to midnight with Platinum Jugglers on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
Here we go! Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom, Galaxy by far, and DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069. We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
Pastor
Richards on OMG.
Inside the Boom Drive. This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in.
Today and tomorrow. So we're standing by to have Dr. Richards call us. Doc, where are you? Yo! Remember tomorrow morning and this afternoon, we kick off with the Pitbull. He will be joining us Pitbull will be doing the drive time 4 to 3 o'clock along with Chowder. That's gonna be one mad show. I will be listening no matter where I am. All right. And tomorrow morning, Sir James Mitchell will be joining us in studio tomorrow morning. So let's go. Dr. Richards, good morning to you.
Hey, Ben. Good morning. Good to hear you. Good energetic voice.
I was just about to say, I love the way you sing now. I love that power in your voice. Yeah. What you said about my voice?
Your energetic voice. You sound energized this morning. There are days
when I don't. Hello? Hello? Oh, I think he dropped out. Okay, he dropped out. So let's get him back. Yeah, while we're waiting to call back. Tomorrow, the domination continues on OMG in the morning. The bad man is back, and he's chatting with James Mitchell, former Prime Minister of SPG. Will be our special guest in studio. He won't be calling in. He'll be coming in to celebrate the bad man being back, right? Issues we'll be looking at, specifically LIAT, Ghana elections, and a number of other things, all right? So stay put for that. Let me find out what's happening with Doc, all right? Just bring a little bit of that for me, please. He's back. He's back. Good morning, Doc.
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry about that. My flow bills are paid. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, no, these things happen every now and then. They drop out. That's all right. That's technology. technology for you?
I was saying welcome. I don't know if you heard, but I was saying welcome back, and I trust all is well with you.
Thank you. All is very well with me. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, last week by the way, let me segue off something that Stephen and Jerry mentioned this morning. Both of them mentioned it, but I thought both of them diminished it, frankly speaking, in terms of the importance of leadership in the upcoming general elections. And I think both of them really thought that that is not going to be a significant factor. And probably they know why it's not going to be a significant factor.
No, they said it will be.
Oh, okay.
It will be a significant factor.
Oh, okay. Maybe I misread. I have to listen.
And in Stephen case specifically, he said it should be as well.
Oh, okay.
So in addition to saying it will be, he said it should be.
Well, I concur with that because, again, my perspective on this matter of leadership, and I will, as you know, I told you already, I told the nation I'm biased. I have a biblical bias, and this biblical bias falls off on the side that leadership is of tremendous importance. In fact, Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 14 says, without good guidance, people will fall. So I think that what ought to be, and we are talking about what is normative and what ought to be here, that people ought to rank this whole matter of leadership rather highly. Now, last week, while Daniel was in, I talked a little bit about leadership in passing, and although it was in passing, I got quite a bit of comment from people who thought that I slighted their leader. If it was ULP, people thought I slighted Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. Some of the things I said, I made, for example, I said to me, right, and I made no apologies for this. I said, to me, one of the things that I will consider in a leader is the matter of character. I didn't call any names, by the way, Bing. Frankly speaking, I did not call any names.
Can I ask you that, because this can cause some confusion in people's mind. Define character as you are putting it.
When I talk about character, I'm talking about a person's not just personality with charisma and all of that, but I'm talking about co-content of integrity, so that you don't have, and integrity talks about a consistency with your values and your actions. Okay, I think that's probably the thing that I commented on last week. I said I talked about the values. I talked about for example, I won't choose someone with values that are not congruent with mine to be somebody who would be leading me or guiding me. I talked about the substance of character being demonstrated through actions. I talked primarily about value-laden approaches, and value being the core substance of character. And obviously, I have a bias towards biblical values. So that's what I talked about character. I spoke generally, Bing. I want you to know, and you know me, I spoke generally, but some people felt like, why am I bringing up an issue of character? Am I pointing fingers and all of that? So yeah, there are some people who felt like I was trying to attack their leader when I spoke about that, and I don't understand why. There's a tendency of people, the Bible says the guilty run when no one is chasing them. So I don't know that. I didn't know how that could point to a particular leader. And then I spoke about the matter of confidence, and some people, actually I got quite a number of comments from people who messaged me and said I am trying to make their leader look bad, and I spoke too much in favor of Dr. Gonsalves, because some of my metrics, what I call leadership metrics, some of the leadership metrics I mentioned made their leader look bad. It's not my fault if your leader doesn't measure up to certain standard leadership metrics, and I didn't make an evaluation. I actually told Mario, and I told, wait, hold on, I think I'll let you, but I told Mario, and Mario suggested and went along with me, said, man, we should just put out a little poll with 10 leadership metrics, matrices, and see how your leader would rank on all of them. But I simply asked a matter of, I posited one of the metrics was this matter of projecting confidence and inspiring confidence in the people. And again, I called no names, but I got people messaging me and saying to me, what's my deal? Why am I going down the road? I said, what upset you? They said when I mentioned a particular metrics, I was basically slighting their leader. I didn't call any name. You figure out is you evaluated your leader on that metrics, and you found your leader to be wanting on that matrix, and you are trying to blame me for that. That's your evaluation. That's not mine. Don't do that. Go ahead, Bing.
Well, I was about to say when you mentioned confidence, Dr. Gonsalves is nowhere short in confidence. So I don't know how someone could say that you were attacking that, but you were speaking generally from what I'm.
Yeah. I was just saying, but that's not even what I wanted to talk about this morning. Again,
I know, and I want to ask you something too.
Can I talk about what I want to talk about first before you ask me what you want to ask me?
Go ahead.
Where's Danielle this morning, by the way?
She's not well, and she won't be in for the rest of this week.
So you won't fight up with me then? Your style is a little bit different, Bing.
And I know you prefer her style because you won't be challenged.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well,
I like people to challenge me.
Well, go ahead, Doc.
But I was saying that, no, I don't want to slight the issue of, and again, every time I talk about this particular topic, I get a little bit delusioned because of what democracy offers us and this default mentality. Without having a vote, I ask myself all the time, what good is a vote when your vote and the efficacy of your vote is determined by the choices that are before you? And it just disillusions me every time I think of it. And people who are thinking will think through totally what I just said, and you will get it. You will get it, and I've commented a lot of times that the vote in our political democracies we have here, the vote is only as good as the choices that are before you. But then even so, you have to exercise your choice. We exercise our choice on the basis of a number of things, and some of them were too readily dismissed. Again, somebody brought up the issue of pork barreling and whether or not that is going to be the major player in the election. I think actually pork barreling plays more of a role than leadership, frankly speaking. And people, pork barreling, somebody called in and asked what it was this morning. I think people should go and look that up, but I'll give you a little preview. It's this tendency to utilize government funds and to utilize government money in such a way that it benefits a party. Now, please understand, Bing, that I am not targeting ULP with this, or I'm not targeting NDP with it. I'm just giving a generalized term. And anywhere across the world, it's probably going to be true, and this is why this term is developed. It is probably going to be true that pork barreling will actually play some part in the election. We have seen it with other parties before, where in the leading up to election, that certain government funds, whether they stockpile them or they garner them, they're used in constituencies and in areas. And I'm not saying that they go in the pocket of an individual, but invariably it will filter down to pockets of individual. But the idea is not to unscrupulously put it in individuals' pockets, but to embark on projects, major projects in areas, develop certain areas, whether it's sports complex or it's a community building project. Just things that will, bring a sort of buoyancy and uplift for your party in that constituency, utilizing government funds. So pork barreling is a consideration. And there are other factors I talked about last week. I actually totally dismissed, from my perspective, the utility of a constituency representative. And then over the weekend, I saw a lot of stir on Facebook of people projecting who is going to be the constituency representative, and my reaction to that was as if the quality of the constituency representative means anything. So I have my own list when it comes down to it, Bing. I have my own list of the things that I consider that will determine an election. I happen to think that choosing your leader is a very important matter, and that is why, as a spiritual leader, I am engaging in this thought process as to how to choose a leader for this nation. I know the metrics, by the way, you never asked me, but I know the metrics that matters most to me when it comes to choosing a leader, and at some point I will reveal that. Okay? All right, Bing, so that's my commentary. You have a question to ask me? Go ahead. Well,
it won't. We won't have enough time, but I've got a voice note from Marlon. Let's see what he's got.
But how could Dr. Gonzalez score highly when it comes to confidence when the country is bitterly divided? You know, if he was someone who inspired confidence and so on, then the country would be more united. The country, the population would be less bitter and so on and so forth. You know, that's just my view on that point.
I think that was for me.
Yeah. You
Marlon, I wasn't saying that he inspired confidence. I said that he is a confident person. So, I don't know, the wax, you didn't shower yet or you didn't clean the ears properly, but I was speaking specifically about his personal confidence. But thank you anyway for your contribution. Doc, gotta wrap it up.
Well, again, so you're not going to ask me that question?
No, because okay. we're out of time.
Let me go ahead and say this again. Consider very carefully how we are going to choose in this election. Leadership matters. Here's the thing that we're going to have to bear in mind. With respect to the NDP, we know the person who is going to be leader over the next course. With respect to the ULP, I am still at sea as to who is going to be leader. For those of you who therefore think that my leadership comments are projected towards Dr. Gonzav, think again. I have to think more clearly and more cogently with respect to the matter of leadership and who is going to emerge as the ULP leader. Why does this matter to me as a religious leader? Why does it matter to me? Because the Bible is clear and does not qualify the statement that without good guidance, people will fail, and therefore that will apply in religious arena, but that will apply in all other arenas also. So I am very concerned and will be watching to see what the caliber of leadership, political leadership, that will be offered to us so that we can make our default choices in the upcoming general election. Have a good day.
Catch you tomorrow morning, Doc.
Your home is a long-term investment, including most of its features. So when purchasing windows, ensure...
Hello? Yes. Oh, Mr. Bing. Yes. Your shipment will be reaching Puerto Rico very soon. Yes, that's 655 towels. And anyways, my favorite show is
Omg In The Morning, what's up next? Jill and Shady, they playing shady. From 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstars. Ice Cold District, Galaxy.
You'll be my boss.
The best, oh yes, kid got on his
headphones. Yo, I'm out today. Okay, I'm back in this time. So when I'm after 4. So when I'm after 4, come to this time. I get to the breakdown? Nah. Now if I go see them, they become, I can't understand. Teleport! You got me really have to come see what happened after 4 boom because I don't understand what happened. But wait. Nobody not there? No. I will help them out. I can't understand. It's time for me to put in my hand and make radio great again. I know just what to do.
Yo, Danny, yo, Bing, yeah, what's up, Flex? Omg In The Morning, what's up next? Jill and Shady, they playing tune. Hitting from 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstars.
1069 Boom.
Yo, well, you don't know now. This is the Super Dog, and guess who's back inside the Boom Drive? This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs? At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Isn't it?
Locking down the entire universe. It's District 106 on the Boom, Galaxy by far, and DJ Flex on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069. Vibe Central blazing the most fire in the nighttime.
Hey, yo, play that shit again.
8 p.m. to midnight with Platinum Jugglers on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
The Love Zone.
The best R&B jams, period.
Hear it on Boom 1069.
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning. On point, dropping shade and setting the trends.
You drinking the haterade.
It's the Shade Room with Jill and DJ Shady. DJ on the Evolution Station. Boom 1069.
In order to stop the spread of the coronavirus, the government and healthcare professionals have encouraged the public to practice social distancing. Social distancing is simply staying at home, avoiding crowds, and avoiding touching each other. If you must come outside to go to work or run an errand, you are encouraged to sneeze or cough within the crease of your elbow or cough within a tissue and discard immediately. Practice washing your hands regularly or the use of hand sanitizer. This message was brought to you by Boom 1069 and
We lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
Yo, well, it done know now. This is the Super Dog, and guess who's back inside the Boom Drive? This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in.
Hold your own and drink responsibly.
Yo, mornings just got reclaimed. OMG in the morning.
Hey, are you listening? Hear me, are you listening? Tell me if you're listening. Lord. Boom. 2 months now since me last see your body, but it feels like years. Let me tell you right now, girl, I don't want anybody else up in my space. I remember that time we made love in the lobby, and those were the days, but now they gone, 'cause I treated you bad. Baby, I am sorry, and I don't take you for granted. Baby, I am sorry, for every time I miss you, baby, I am sorry. Baby girl, up. You know the worst part, that have me up. You is a big freaky gal and whatnot. So me know the new man I get it. So, oi, baby, I am sorry. Not to take you for granted, baby, I am sorry. For every time I diss you, baby, I am sorry. Girl, if you are wanting, baby, I am sorry. I'm sorry. And baby girl, I miss you. Yeah, baby girl, I miss you. Yeah, baby girl, I miss you. Baby girl, I miss you. Baby girl, I miss you.
You know, sister, we are live big like blue whale. Big like blue whale. Tell it, you know, sister, we are doing big. Much more to life than just living. Leave like November 26. Cause every day is Thanksgiving. We just a do it like Nike. Everything is alright. The whole of my family, them doing just fine. Me no keep friend, cause them a night butterfly. And them only come around when them sit like. Cause when me looking at me wallet, I am no again. See a smile on me face, them panic. Them just can't stop this kid. When my blessings fall down on me, I was born from a heart that's clean. So everything Jah give me is for me. And you just can't stop this kid. Yeah. To everybody when no like me, yo, me no like you too. You can't hype me, so don't bother try. When you criticize me, you just turn up the views. That's why me drop another song last night. And me no do this for IG likes, me no do it for no followers. Me no do this for fame. Me keep the fans happy and my family alright. So no bother that, no bother leave for my name. Cause when me looking at me wallet, I am no again. See a smile on me face, them panic. Them just can't stop this kid. When my blessings fall down on me, I was born from a heart that's clean. So everything Jah give me is for me, and you just can't stop this kid.
Lighten up the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. OMG in the morning.
And just like that, we done. Just like that, it's over. You know, I've been Flex. If I tell you the challenge I had this morning, that's your microphone. That's it.
Yeah, you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. This morning, I woke up about 3 o'clock. I guess it was anxiety or something. And I'm like, oh my God. I can't do this. And morning, Basti One Love. Good morning to you, buddy. Good morning. Basti, I promise you, I'm going to be calm. Wasn't I calm this morning, Flex?
Yeah, you were perfectly fine.
There we go. I don't know what people carried on about. I was fine, you know what I mean? Could have been better. I was calm this morning. Only one time when I lost it on that guy who called in and said, rumors that Dr. Goodluck is going to be running for the NDP in East St. George. I said, come on, what rumors are you talking about? You don't talk about rumors, right? Yeah, he came on and said he know for sure, he wrote for sure. But then I said, well, how do you know? Rumors. I'm like, come on, buddy. But you know, buddy, you can still call back at any time. OMG will always be open to you and everyone else. I don't really cut off people unless you go a bit overboard, which I thought you did this morning. So that's why I cut you. Because, you know, gotta be careful with that. So, you know, I had to deal with it. And I know all the ULP people, he's not that ULP man. He's just thinking ULP man. So he go try anything and do anything. You know what I mean? I know you're a ULP man because I know. But that's all right. The country belongs to you too. You should vote and support whoever you want to vote and support. As you should understand that everyone else should vote and support whoever they want to vote and support. Right? Come on. I really wanted to ask Dr. Richard this morning about something that I made a mental note of a couple of weeks ago. And I said, you know what, when I get back on the radio, I'm going to ask Doc about that. It's something that transpired in the United States when the upheaval went on with the the racial tensions that's still happening, but to a lesser extent now. I wanted to ask something to talk about that, but didn't get in this morning. But hopefully I'll be able. I tried a couple of times to interject and get it in, but you're like, oh no. So I know he really wanted to have dealt with that matter he dealt with this morning. So I understand. And tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll get it in. Baby doll is on sick leave. She would be out for another week or so. Let me hear Marlon say, Marlon, you best delete that message, Jane, if you don't want me to play. Because if you come with any choppiness this morning, man, you go tangle up, eh? So let me hear what you're saying. And I don't want you to say I ain't play your message. So let me hear what Marlon
Welcome back, Big. That made me laugh. Yeah, watching me in. All right.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Hope Danny will soon come back.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. In terms of messages that I need to do before I go, do remember this afternoon from 4 we make drive time great again. So I'm feeling that make great again thing. I don't like that. That's too Trumpified. That's very Trumpified. To make great again. Trump, that's Trump. Magna, we make America great again. We make drive time great again this afternoon with the Super Dog Pitbull on the Boom Drive with Chowder and Millennium Kid. That's going to be one heavy program. I don't care what I'm doing, where I am. I'll be getting to my ready to hear. And he'll be bringing along Super Demas and other people that he brings along with him. I know it's Super Demas. There's somebody else, isn't there? Somebody else that comes with him as well too?
Nah, just Super Demas.
No, he has another one as well too.
Well, probably he might bring somebody else.
Yeah, he has Super Demas with him. Right?
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise, yeah. But of course, Chowder is there with Sasha.
Chow
Minister and all of that. So that's going to be one serious thing this afternoon. All right, from 4 o'clock, it's an overload of vibes on the trending station. The evolution continues. All right, so this afternoon, from 4 o'clock, make sure you tuned in no matter where you are. This afternoon is going to be like that. Walking. Somebody walking there? Chill, how are you? Look at that smile. Look at that heavy smile. Tomorrow, the domination continues in OMG in the morning. The bad man is back and he will be chatting. I'll be speaking to Sir James Mitchell, former Prime Minister of St. Vincent, as our special guest to celebrate the return. All right. Some of the main issues we'll be looking at is Liat and the confusion with Liat. That's a present talking point right now. Guyana confusion still going on. Yeah. So James will be in studio tomorrow morning, live in studio on the trending station. Boom 106.1. How are you? You know you got dimples when you smile. You got it from your daddy. From your daddy. You got dimples from your daddy. Yeah. How have you been? Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Is that the right one there? Yeah. That try and sing. No, it's not. Oh, this one. Yeah, I know it's that one. Yeah. How's that?
Okay, you tell me.
How have you been?
I've been well, thank you.
Yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear me, yeah?
I am hearing you.
Okay, good.
Are you hearing yourself?
No, not really.
Oh, you need to turn up the thing?
I am.
You turn up. Ooh. Oh, change from what?
Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about?
How have you been? It's good to have you back first and foremost. You know,
I've been.
You were missed. You were missed. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's been too long. I missed it. Really is my oxygen, too. And when I'm not here, I don't do well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's frustrating when I'm not here. Meaning on air in studio. I miss it all. But yeah, let me take these people been calling for a while. Let me see. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Ben.
Yes.
What o'clock? You and Sir James were there.
From 7:30. From 7. Sorry, it's not in there, but it's from 7:30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because I would love to hear him.
Yeah, well, he's going to be here from 7:30 tomorrow morning. Okay.
The unfolding of the Susuhan might come up.
The what?
The unfolding of the Susuhan.
What I mean?
Remember the thing from Grenada up to now, we don't know what was said.
Okay, well, you could call and ask him that, okay?
Because
you can call him and ask him that. You can call him and ask him that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I hope there will be time.
Yeah. You call him and ask him that. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, sorry about that, Jill.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Bing, what's going on? You look healthy. I have to say that. You look healthy, and like I said, it's just good to have you back.
I'm happy to be back.
And you smell great as always.
Jay, you gotta put that on the radio, really?
Oh my gosh, you just talking. I gotta just put it out there.
I mean, Flex, she just don't know when away. What are you dealing with this morning? Where's the DJ?
Where's the compliment you get right back.
Where's the damn DJ? Where's the DJ?
He soon come. Yes.
All right. I've been listening to you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. Yourself and your DJ really meshing well together. And you guys are doing an absolutely amazing job. I enjoy listening to you and Shady. Even with the back of that. And you need to hunch him some more. You know what I mean?
I really should, you know.
You should.
I try not to get physical with him.
You should. You know what I mean? You need to go across and... You know what I mean? I love listening to you guys.
Okay. I'll make sure I film it too.
Yeah, you film it too. What are you guys dealing with this morning?
All right, well, we're taking everybody back. Today we'd have been just coming off a Juve high.
Oh, man.
So, we're taking everybody back to Carnival. I mean, we can't get to do it physically, but we're going to take you back there musically and just dig up some memories from Juve, Monday morning experiences, all of that inside the ship. We're going to make it happen.
What would you have been doing this morning?
Me, right now, I've probably been at home. Probably sleeping.
But somebody does that.
Sleeping. For real.
You would have been at home sleeping?
Yeah. For real.
You don't, your days of that?
Oh, no. It's not that I don't go. I had a bad experience. Most of the time, you'll catch me out tomorrow. Enjoying the costumes. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
But my brother died on a Juve morning, so I don't really like... Yeah.
Oh, boy.
My first Juve.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
I can understand that. Okay.
Yes.
You guys have a great one this morning. All right. On behalf of my DJ, who's going to say goodbye? Say goodbye.
Flex.
Say goodbye.
I heard what you said about Flex's voice,
What did I say?
I heard this morning you don't like to hear Flex talk because he has a bedroom voice. That's what he said. Come on, man. Don't hate. Appreciate it.
Flex, do you have a bedroom voice?
That's what you said.
The whole world heard you.
Do we want to hear? That's what you said. Speak up.
What they like.
Speak like if you had hair on your chest.
That's how he speaks all the time.
Do you have hair on your chest? On hair on your arm? Speak like a big...
This is just.
You're just jealous.
I am jealous, actually. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning. God's willing. Enjoy your day. Have yourself a great one today. I love you.
Hello? Yes. Oh, Mr. Bing. Yes. Your shipment will be reaching Puerto Rico very soon. Yes, that's 655 towels. And anyways, my favorite show is
Omg In The Morning, what's up next? Jill and Shady, they playing hitting from 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstars. Ice Cold District, Galaxy,
I'll be by far.
The best, oh yes, kid, got on his
headphones. Yo, I'm out today. Okay, I'm back in this time. So when I'm after 4. So when I'm after 4, come to this time. I get to the breakdown? Nah. Now if I go see them, they become I can't understand. Tell it, boy. God, me really have to come see what happened after 4 boom because I don't understand what happened. But wait. Nobody not there? No. I will help them out. I can't understand. It's time for me to put in my hand and make radio great again. I know just what to do.
Yo, Donnie, yo, Bing, yo, what's up, Flex? Omg In The Morning, what's up next? Jill and Shady, they playing tune. Hitting from 10 to 1, throwing shades in the shade room. You keep rocking with the superstars.
1069 Boom.
Yo, well, you done know now. This is the Super Dog, and guess who's back inside the Boom Drive? This Monday, the 6th of July, look out for me on Boom 106.9 as we make drive time great again. Boom Drive 106.9 from Monday. Better tune in. Yo, well, it done know.